Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hereby call on July 14th, 2025, a meeting of the Town of Hanson Planning Board to order at 6:30 p.m. I'd also like to announce for all those in attendance that this meeting is being recorded for distribution on Whitman Hanson Community Access. Playback times and other related information on this recording can be found at whca.tv. Again, that's whca.tv. With that call to order, we have a full planning office with the town planner and our town planner administrative assistant in attendance this evening, our new town planning administrative assistant. Having great reports. We have 4 members of the board tonight, myself, Mr. Ellis, Mr. Cohen, and Mr. Roberts are here in attendance. Mr. Pennell will be away this evening. First item of business on our agenda this evening is the approval of the June 23rd, 2025 open session public meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Town planner.
So while we were in transition with administrative assistants, a former administrative assistant, Jill, did prepare the minutes, but I didn't get them till today. So if you want to move that to the next meeting, I'll be sending them out to the,
We can do that.
I'll be sending the minutes out to the board via email.
Entertain a motion to postpone the approval of the June 23rd, 2025 open session public meeting minutes.
So moved.
Motion's been made by Mr. Ellis, seconded by Mr. Cohen. Any discussion in regards to that motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 401. Tony, we'll get to those on the next meeting. We have before us at 6:35, if you want to take a few moments and review your item number 1 in your packet. We've got a few minutes for an upcoming appointment at 6:35. Approval not required. A&R Plan MGL 41 SA1P Elms Place LLC is seeking to subdivide property located on Elms Place by creating a new single-family house lot and the reconfiguration of 2 existing lots. The properties are identified in map 112, lot 3, lot 27, and lot 28, prepared by Webby Engineering. You have item 1 in your packet. You have, do you have to? Must have paused.
One's the A&R plan, and one's the adequate access plan. Don, that first plan you opened up is the A&R plan.
That's the A&R plan.
This is one down.
That's the adequate access plan.
Yeah, that's Time having arrived at 6:35, we're going to move on to our first appointment. As previously stated, I'm going to hand the meeting over to the town planner for the introduction. Time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So what you have before you is a A&R plan that was submitted by the applicant, and the board is familiar, except Mr. Robertson, be familiar with this property on Elms Place, the corner of Elms Place and State Street. So the total of 4 lots. There was 3 altogether originally. There was a Form A plan approved in 2006 that created what is known as Lot 27 and Lot 28. Subsequently, the applicant appeared to be creating a additional lot along with the lot for the remaining land for the existing house, 408 State Street, and a reconfiguration of these lot lines. Mr. Webby is in the audience. He prepared the plan, so I'll let him go into detail.
Webby.
Good evening, Joe Webby, Webby Engineering. So we're here at Elms Place, where there's currently two lots on Elms Place on that side and land at 408 State Street. So we're proposing to basically reconfigure the lots, creating now 3 lots on Elms Place, remaining land on that all have the required frontage area. Meet all the other requirements for it. For one thing that we should note on there is that they demolished the dwelling at 408, so resulting building will conform to all of the regulations.
Any questions from the board? Mr. Cohen.
Question, yeah. So I see the label existing garage to be demolished. The intention is to demolish the.
Correct.
Okay. You need to have that put on the.
I don't think so, because approved in the lot line.
Mr. Chair, I have gone through the checklist, and they do meet all the requirements listed on the checklist.
Ellis.
Where is the runoff going? On what we got here? 27 and 28. And another one, and I was coming correction. The runoff from of the property.
Well, I mean, I'd like to get to that onto the adequate access, but we have the topo. But the idea is that the runoff is going to be maintained on sites themselves. We've designed drainage systems on each lot. Basically, there's trench drains and driveways, collecting all the runoff from the impervious. The lots will be graded in such a manner too that there's not sheeting off of the lots. The soil is very sandy there. Currently, there's no problems with drainage. There's 2 buildings under construction out there right now. We've had, was it a 5-inch rainstorm day? Certainly there without any problems with construction or any issues at that time. Once sites are completed, rooms seeded, and everything's going into the drainage systems, I with runoff onto the road.
Tony, do you mind pulling up an example just for an exercise for Mr. Roberts, go through an A&R? So he can, so any submissions that we have with nobody's just verify that we have all that checked up. It's all the stuff.
Okay.
Plans themselves.
Okay.
So
Everything's all checked off.
Yep, and so the other thing is,
Yeah, absolutely.
so A&R stands for approval not required. Form A, also you hear Form A, which just means it's the actual form that's signed.
Okay.
So the criteria for Form A is that not a subdivision if, which I had sent the definition under 81L, which states that if it runs on one of 3 types of ways, has proper frontage, and has vital access from the road to the buildable lot, and the
Okay.
planning board is to endorse it as a approval not required plan. If
Questions from the board?
the board has 21 days from the submission to act on the plan, and they can either approve, deny. If they don't act within the 21 days, then it's known as it's called constructively approved, as the planning board failed to make a determination and it'd be automatically approved.
Okay.
And in this case, the date for the 21 days until the board would have to make a decision as to whether approve it, deny it. If it's denied, then a board would be saying they feel that this is a subdivision. This fronts on a private way, and so the determination here for the board is does front on a private way that has width and grade for traffic utilities. So that,
Any further questions or comments? The board, Mr. Ellis.
Just like told me, is that adequate enough to handle that runoff? We're up there now.
unfortunately, that doesn't become an issue with the Form As as of yet. It's drainage, unfortunately, is not one of the criteria that the planning board has to look at as far as Form A approval.
I think it would be on one of our lists because of the runoffs. If it can't get down on, that one, you call it Jackass Lane, but no, that's the wrong one, sorry. That dirt road was, something down Bond Street.
Roller coaster road.
Roller coaster road. We made him put in front of his house.
But you did that under the adequate access.
Yeah.
This is the
This
A&R.
is just for the A&R.
This is just for the A&R. The next step is if the board approves this A&R, then they have submitted an application for the adequate access determination.
Okay, then.
But the board looks at this and says, okay, this being on a private way, which existed prior to the subdivision control law, do you feel that this way has sufficient width and grade for what's being proposed? If you feel that it doesn't, then you would deny the plan and that's the state would make that's what would be put in the decision. Then the applicant would have the ability, if they chose to, take it to the court system, and the courts would determine whether or not they agree with the planning board. Now, there's been a lot of court cases that go back and forth on what exactly is sufficient width and grade. Some of them, the roads are really poor and they were considered sufficient width and grade, and other cases, so the next step is if the board does approve it as under the adequate access, you'll make some determinations as you have with the other lots.
Yes.
What's the will of the board in regards to approval or denial of the A&R? Motion?
Yep, I'll make a
There's a
motion.
motion on the floor to approve the A&R by Mr. Robertson. For a second. And by Mr. Cohen, any discussion in regards to that approval? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mentions Mr. Bernardo. Approve.
Yeah.
So 401, Tony? Who's got the Mylar? How many copies of the A&R do you need?
Need one signed and,
I'll find the Mylar.
you know what? Yeah.
I need a Sharpie, yeah.
Yep, I need to grab the Mylar. It's actually up in the office.
You're the one.
What do you need?
Yeah.
You wanted to declare a 5-minute recess, Mr. Chair.
Sure, absolutely. We're gonna take a 5-minute recess at 6:46.
You need to grab something for me?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We can get onto that.
You need to,
No, just the signature thing.
you don't want to.
I don't want to mess around, like I said. We did the signature thing now.
They're gonna take it.
Seconded about those, no, the sewage, those town-owned road, right?
So,
Private driveway, okay. So they, people that live there pay,
yeah. Again,
So,
yeah. Cause I know like if there's like an emergency, they go down to Sandy, it's a private.
did somebody buy it?
Along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2019, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I understand it's got all the bells and whistles back in, you know.
Mild.
No, not much. Yeah, not much. 50, 60,000, something like that. Wasn't on the front of the one they were asking so much, but I just hung on my money.
You look for a new truck.
No, hold on.
Get one check this side. We voted on that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ready to go back in the session, Bob?
Yep, one sec.
After a brief recess at 6:49, we're back in open session. We're going to move along in our agenda for our next appointment, 6:40 PM, 6:49, adequate access determination. The applicant, Elms Place LLC, is seeking an adequate access determination under Section 7.1 Hanson Land Use Regulation Zoning Bylaw. The properties are identified as map 112, lot 3, and lot 27, located on Elms Place. Town planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So obviously, this is the lot that was just approved by the board. And I think this may have answered more of the questions that Mr. Ellis had. And again, I'll let Mr. Webby explain the plan.
Mr. Webby?
Yeah, so good evening, Joe Webby, Webby Engineering again. So what we're looking at here is a 1-foot contour interval topo map shows everything that's going on. Now, we have the, 2 buildings that are currently under construction further down the road there. Road, as we kind of went through before, we did the adequate access for those as they, passable way. There's no steep slopes greater than 1%. There's currently no problems with drainage as in the road. We are, as a form of mitigation to deal with any additional runoff that's created by the homes or the driveways. We have some Caltech drainage systems that are being placed in the sand lots. The water's being caught in a trench drain, diverted away from the road. Construction management pressures that are going on out there now, they have everything tight. Well, there's no problems with runoff going into the road, silt going into the road. There's no issue as far as those conditions are only going to improve, et cetera.
Thanks, Mr. Webby. Any questions, comments from the board? Mr. Webby, is there any possibilities, looking at the adequacy of the way, is there any possibility of having a discussion out on the northerly side of the way, making a little bit more improvements as far as hard pack or bituminous material on that side to get that actual hard top, that 12.5, that 11 foot, to get that a little bit wider along the part of the way, the edge of the travel?
Yeah, certainly. I don't think in that, they're out there doing work. They have to put in water lines and those types of things anyway. We're in the process of buttoning that all up, widening it up.
Is there any potential for a mill and overlay to kind of clean up that hard top on there now? You have to state your name for the.
Andy's bathroom, Elms Place, Elvis. Yeah. The roadway as it exists right now is in pretty shape, and we haven't done anything. We've worked pretty diligently to not damage what's there, including running all the new utilities so we're not into the asphalt. Fill and overlay there would be a pretty, I would prefer to not have that. We did do a slight asphalt repair for one of the neighbors, did patchwork for the water tap. Happy to certainly widen the ground, and I think we've already done quite a bit of that, to be honest with you.
So good, so going from the last application to now, and with an increase now of even, more traffic, potentially, I understand that it's the front half. Me, myself personally, have concern that width of the road, it's basically one lane. So, it would be nice to have some proposals and talk with the town, planner, certainly, about getting some more hard surface on the side. That's my opinion. So I don't know if on the southerly side, if you've got good relations with the folks on the 2 lots on the southerly side, if it would be better to do it on that edge or what edge.
I think if you were to go up there right now, you can see that it's pretty well cleared on the northerly side, and that makes most sense, because that's where we're working.
Okay.
And again, we'd be happy to expand the travel, the area that you'd be able to travel on. We could certainly make gravel. We'd already planned to make it a gravel strip, just so that it's a little easier.
Okay. Town planner, do we have any further comments from the fire department or anybody for egress or access or town water? Or anything?
No.
Okay. So we're still under the same as what we had discussed last time. Fire felt that it was adequate having the one plug out towards, you'll see that one plug that's out towards the westerly part of the intersection there.
State Street.
They felt that was adequate on State Street to be able to water down the road if they needed to. I think that there was a turnout, am I correct? There was a turnout in the previous iteration?
Yeah, that is actually,
For fire?
that has been cleared and.
Perfect.
And it's essentially complete.
Yeah. Mr. Ellis has a question in regards to, kind of a surety about getting that work done.
You're speaking about the widening?
Yes.
Well, you could condition the occupancy permit for the resident working out, and the applicant, that's fair, for everyone.
Does that make any concerns from? Tell me.
Instead of gravel, how about reprocessed asphalt? You can pack it.
Sure.
Reprocessed asphalt, that way you can pack it down really hard. It's a lot more durable. Processed asphalt.
Asphalt.
Reprocessed asphalt.
Like milling?
Yeah, so it's compact. Now the board can decide as a condition, either occupancy permit or building permit. You want the work done prior to them getting a building permit or prior to them getting an occupancy?
I wouldn't want to slow down, there's been some delays just through, regular stuff. I don't think the board have a flavor about that. I have a building permit. I'm okay with occupancy permit.
Yeah, okay then.
Great. What's the will of the board? Any further questions? Any further comments? What's the will of the board?
The motion,
What's that?
you made a motion,
Oh, no, you can make a motion.
somebody made a motion.
No, nobody's made a motion.
Yeah.
Nope, nobody's made a motion.
So I think your motion, if I may, would be to issue a positive determination with conditions, being the expansion of the the paved way, the installation of the stormwater management, the expansion of the pavement area with reprocessed asphalt to a width of 15 feet. So I think you'd want some kind of motion with that kind of language in.
So
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Ellis in regards to an approval of the adequacy of access with the conditions as stated by the town planner.
I'll second
There's a second to that motion. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Second.
Second by Mr. Frost.
Thank you.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions 401. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming in. I got something missing.
Nope, you don't have to sign that, Mr. Chair.
No, want to go?
Nope, you will be signing the decision
Well, oh, yeah.
once I prepare the decision.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you guys are doing good work now. It looks nice.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Moving on, we have a 6:45, pardon the delay, we have a 6:49, it's now 6:59, Stormwater Management General Bylaw, Article 3-21. Representatives from Apex Engineering present proposed bylaw amendments to conform with the current MS4 regulation. This will be item 3 in your packet. We have somebody here from you.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So all I'm going to do is hand it over to the town planner for introductions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, as the board may be aware, the MS4, which is municipal sewer regulations, are changing. And with that, Hanson has to amend their current stormwater regulations to match these regulations of the EPA and Mass DEP. So some months ago, I had brought forth some language to amend our stormwater bylaw. Unbeknownst to me at the time, our highway superintendent, as part of the MS4 process, was having that worked on as well. So the consultant, Environmental Partners, now known as Apex, they've taken on that task. And Liz has been in charge of preparing the language. And so there's a presentation tonight that she's going to go through. And then also in your packet was the proposed new stormwater general bylaw article 3-21. But I'm going to let Liz get into the nuts and bolts about.
Hi, Liz, how are you?
Hi, for the record, my name is Liz. I'm as professional at Apex.
Great, thank you.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of a background about the MS4 permit. The Massachusetts small MS4 permit review came into effect in July of 2018 and applies to communities not large MS4 located partially or fully within an urbanized area as defined by the 20. And there are requirements of this permit vary by community year through the year 20, and in some cases beyond that point. EPA has been performing audits local communities and their bylaws and seeing if everyone is in compliance in regards to specifically the post, because the MS4 requirements require a stormwater management plan to be provided. Requires that applicants file notice of intent, file annual reports with the town. They also address the MS4 permits also address 6 minor minimum control measures: the patient and outreach, public involvement, and illicit discharge detection and elimination program, the construction site or runoff for the new development and redevelopment, housekeeping, and now the town has been doing a good job on their public education program, and Apex has been working with the town on this. Requires direct messages to targeted groups. The illicit discharge detection and elimination provides legal authority to the town to prohibit, investigate, eliminate illicit discharge bylaws. And it'll track sanitary sewer flows. It requires things to be done by the town, sampling, additional investigations, and preparation of an illicit discharge detection and elimination plan with annual, all of which the town has been doing. All the outfalls are ranked based upon construction site, stormwater runoff, sediment, and erosion control. And that's what we're kind of specifically the MS4 permit change require that new development and redevelopment incorporate low impact development or green infrastructure practices in their projects to the maximum extent practical. They also require additional performance standards for total suspended solid removal, phosphorus removal, nitrogen removal, water volume retention. They require that an applicant submit as-built to within 2 years, and they also require that local regulation. The regulations also want towns to look into constructing new stormwater MPs on municipal property. Good housekeeping measures are existing stormwater facility requirements for inspections, road salt, and the development of a solution prevention plan. The DPW facility. The town has been also doing a good job on this.
Liz, do you mind, what is an MP?
Sorry, I should have gone over that.
Sorry.
BMP stands for Best Management. It's interchangeable with stormwater facility. Stormwater basin, that's BMP. So the specific stormwater bylaw requirements then were illicit discharge and elimination program. The program will include adequate legal authority to prohibit illicit discharges. It's suspected eliminate illicit discharges, including discharges from property owned by or controlled by the town that discharge into the town, and implement appropriate enforcement actions. Adequate legal authority, concurrently effective ordinances, bylaws, or other regular measures. The bylaw and regulations were required 3 years from the permit. The town did enact stormwater management bylaws and the discharge to municipal storm during the 2013 spring town meeting. They were not up to all the requirements specified in According to section 2.35, the ordinance or regulatory requires the use of setting erosion control practices. For newer development and redevelopment projects, applicants will have to develop, modify as appropriate. Permittee shall develop or modify ordinance or other regulatory mechanism by year 3, which will have the effective date of the permit. Include low impact development site planning, compliance with the Massachusetts Storm Management Handbook, additional requirements that exceed the stormwater handbook in the MS4 permit itself. The stormwater bylaw and illicit discharge, like I mentioned, were passed. However, rules and regulations to describe what was required because of these bylaws. Stormwater bylaw is usually administered by the planning department. But the planning board has the authority to adopt and periodically amend rules and regulations in regards to the stormwater bylaw. We are proposing some changes to stormwater bylaw as well as
If I may. Article 3-22, fall review of the Board of Health.
these rules and regulations will apply to all projects that do the municipal storm. They also apply to all project acre or more, and projects that are less than 1 acre that are of a larger development. An applicant couldn't break it out.
If I may. So that one, would that apply? So let's say the project we just had, there was 4 Form A lots. In total, they're disturbing over 1 acre, but let's say on each lot, they're disturbing 3/4 of an acre. Would that fall under that? Would stormwater management now become part of an A&R?
I believe so. I can.
There's nothing hard in writing though, as of yet.
There's nothing hard in writing. The person who presented before me, they are in, these rules and regs have been passed, so it would not apply to them.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, in the future, once these were adopted, would a situation like that, in essence, fall under these regulations?
So there is a section law that says these rules and regs apply to all applications that were for approval. I'm going to have to review that again. That it would require, it will not require. It will not require.
Yeah, I mean, it's always applied, as far as it's always applied to subdivisions, not Form As.
Right.
Yeah, but I know that there's been other communities that have sort of been applying a stormwater management policy adjacent to Form As when there's a string of them together.
My gut is telling me yes. I'd have to double check.
Okay.
Also probably want to consider internally, we'd want to set a time frame from the original, would it be applicable?
It also applies to proposed subdivision in the Massachusetts. There's a section of bylaw that provide administrative details. There are rules and that provide detailed required additional inspections and maintenance. There are sections in the rules and regulations about how the planning board or the town, the rules and regs require water pollution prevention plans, operation and maintenance agreements, all provided to the town. Section of the stormwater reports. A much more detailed and robust erosion and sediment control plan. Operation and maintenance would have to be submitted to the town for to be coming there. Operation and maintenance. There's new birds would implement low impact development strategies, landscape design requirements, additional requirements for phosphorus removal, nitrogen removal, total suspended solids removal, and it'll also cleaning stormwater on site, which decrease runoff. Increase infiltration and sensitivity. Now there are specific inspection criteria that are detailed in Section 9 of the rules and regs. There's detailed operation and maintenance in Section 10. Like I mentioned, the as-built plans would have to be some years of completion of construction. And a lot of towns don't even get as-built plans. And that kind of details my presentation.
Yeah, as far as the illicit discharge detections, are the means and ways by which the town's putting those in place, are they static, or is that something that it be moved throughout the town, or what's the best practice as far as doing those detections? Is it just on an outflow? Is it sampling local waterways, or what would be the best way?
I wish I brought my environment with me.
That's okay. You take a swag at it.
I believe they try to, they record plans, they try to find where potential homes might be discharging to a catch basin, or homes in the area that the temperature's uneven. That would be my guess.
Sets pools and things like that.
Yeah,
People running something off the budget.
It- If I may,
Yeah,
Mr.
Tom.
Chair, recently, there's a building within town, it's a private building, and part of their drainage, because the building is older, but there has been improvements, and they did put in detention basin and an overflow, but they have some drainage that was originally part of the building, which somehow is tied into the town's drainage. And then after one of the storms, it backed up into their building. And of course, they were calling the town,
Yeah.
saying, hey, so that the highway department went out there and found that where the pipe was going to the outfall, it had been crushed.
Yeah, yeah.
There had been some construction activity down the line, and it had been crushed. So this type of situation,
Yeah.
these folks would have to unplug
Yeah.
from our drainage. And I had told highway superintendent, I said, they shouldn't be plugged into our drainage anyway because they have a detention basin. Their emergency overflow is, now that wouldn't apply to emergency overflows.
that would not apply to emergency
Okay,
overflows.
so they had an emergency overflow which is heading towards our drainage system.
And that's what it,
But what's happening is part of what they already have is going out because it's not getting captured into that detention basin. So that's the type of situation where the town would go to them and say, you have to disconnect this, or the town could disconnect
The
it.
town would disconnect,
Town disconnect.
and the town would charge you to disconnect it to
The home.
that particular road.
Are some of the reports what's happening with the SWIPS reports? Are they now going away?
SWIP reports are gonna
They're
continue.
going to continue. So this is above,
Yep.
in addition to current existing SWIP reports.
Yep, and they will be, every year, the operation and maintenance reports will be provided back to the town, and that's, I believe, for 5 years, I don't know.
Is this something, Liz, if I may, Mr. Chair, is this something that should, we're going to be looking at revising our subdivision control law. So this language that should also, I would say, probably be incorporated into the subdivision control law.
You could incorporate it, or you could say to the method,
Refer to
refer to,
general bylaw.
refer to the stormwater rules and regs, and all performance and design criteria apply.
Any other questions from the board?
So one of the things is Liz and Apex have prepared the bylaw, but also regulations that could be updated as needed, where the board could do the updates versus having to go to town meeting to update the bylaw. So it becomes a little more fluid.
We'll still have to make the initial change at October, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so if the board is satisfied with these regulations, there's a couple of edits I'll send you, but they're minor. If the board is satisfied with the language, if you've read through it and you're satisfied with the language, then my recommendation tonight was going to be that the board vote to move this to a public hearing and to the public hearing process and bylaw amendment.
Yeah.
Amended the general bylaw so that we could do a public hearing at the end of August and then get this in for October town meeting. Do you think that's enough time, or is that?
That's enough, that's enough time.
Ambitious?
When do you say it has to be, when do you have to give it to, yes?
Well, I can put a placeholder
Okay.
on, so, hang on a
We
second.
can stick a bookmark in and pull it at 8 times.
Okay.
Yeah,
In August.
because the warrant's gonna close on August the 8th for town meeting. But what I can do is put a placeholder in,
Okay.
and then the board is expecting to meet at the end of August, August 25th, so we can have, that gives me plenty of time to advertise.
Yeah. You
Okay.
need 14 days.
Yep.
Of advertising.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because our local paper is on a Thursday, it winds up turning out to be 18 days. So we'll do a public hearing for the 25th of August, and then if you approve it, then we'll move it, because this is going to be a general bylaw.
Yeah.
So you're not following necessarily a zoning, because this isn't a zoning amendment. This is a general bylaw, but still, I think we need to go through the public hearing process so that you can get feedback.
Fellas?
I have a question, if system fails, and is there any money or grants or anything to be able to correct them?
Are you talking about, say, like a water basin?
Or like what you had before, somebody else has plugged off somebody else's water?
Yeah, so if someone has like stormwater management facility and it fails, then the basin on his front lawn, he is responsible for this. He is responsible for covering the cost. He is responsible for.
What about if it's in the subdivision somewhere?
So if it's in a subdivision,
Or public road subdivision or
Yeah.
private way?
so let's say you have a definitive subdivision that comes to the board with a subsurface cul-de-sac system. That is the responsibility of the developer to inspect and maintain until the town adopts. So all the catch basins, the manhole, all of that will be on the developer to inspect and maintain until the town accepts the road.
Or what afterwards? It's usually always afterwards.
Afterwards, well, the town would be responsible for the road, the stormwater management facilities in the roadway. If there's a homeowners association, then it would be the responsibility of the homeowners association, subsurface, but typically the catch basin is the town's responsibility.
Is the town allowed to use chapter 9 as an applicable procurement for
I
chapter?
have to look into that.
I don't know where highway would be. It's just changed budgeting with chapter 90. That should make it.
As of 12/01,
Really?
as of 12/01, July 15th, that's how much we'll bill.
Goose eggs.
Right.
If things,
It'd be nice to have a discussion with highway about possibly airport.
Does the town have like a private company to clean the catch basins, or is it, town, the private company come in and?
private company, yeah, they've been going through town and doing that, cleaning all the catch
Okay,
basins.
so we don't have to worry about like the waste end of that, like saying the truck's full, they go back to wherever they're going?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it was a
Okay.
private contractor they hired
Okay.
because we don't have the equipment for it.
Okay.
If I may, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
Hanson, I think is unique in some ways. There's some subdivisions that were approved and were never brought to becoming a public way. So they're still private ways.
Yep.
But the developer's gone. There's, who's gonna be responsible? Will it be the town at that point, or would it be, it winds up in limbo,
These rules and regs apply to new development.
new development?
So if someone from that subdivision came and they wanted to redevelop, would be on them. The new inspection reports and all of that apply to new application came across your not an
So
existing.
that anything prior to this bylaw being amended
Yeah.
would be, we're gonna use the term grandfathered in, if you will.
Yes.
Any other questions or comments?
So my suggestion, Mr. Chair, if I may, with the motion is that the stormwater general bylaw move to a public hearing for placement on the special town meeting warrant for October.
With a tentative public hearing date of August 25th.
Correct.
Roll board.
I'll make the motion as
Motion on
stated.
the floor is stated by the town planner. Stormwater Management General Bylaw Article 3-21 placed with a placeholder of upcoming warrant in August, and the date for us to have a hearing on 8.
Yeah, the town meeting's in October.
Yeah.
I've forwarded 3-22 to the Board of Health because that's their purview.
Yeah.
So, but I forwarded it to them if they had any comments. I didn't think there was much comment, but I did forward it to them
Yeah, I
for
don't
any.
think there was much on that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. So,
That's all right. Motion made by Mr. Cole. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? 401. Yes, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing you at the public hearing if you're going to come down.
Yep.
And we're going to move this right along to that. Thanks for answering our questions. And if we have any more between now and then, we'll type up as FAQ. Appreciate it. Is this your first time down to Hanson?
Yes. And
Welcome,
I
Hanson.
was a little bit confused about where the meeting was. I was over at the other building,
What other building?
or the other parking lot.
Oh, on the other side.
Yeah.
That's the scenic part, scenic route.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Have a great night. Moving on to our public hearings for this evening. Time being 7:26. I'm going to reopen the public hearing, or continue the public hearing for the update of the Hanson Open Space and Recreation Plan. Representatives from VHB will discuss final revisions to the Hanson Open Space and Recreation Plan. Tyler.
thank you, Mr. Chair. So, what's happening is the VHB had submitted the OSRP to the state for approval. They gave a conditional approval, but there was comments they needed addressed. They did address those comments. They resubmitted a revised OSRP to the state. The state again had some additional comments. Those are being worked through at this point. So once the state gives us a let's say, a clean approval, then I'll have the board vote on that final OSRP and close the public hearing. So at this point, if the board is willing to continue this to either the 25th of August or the next meeting in September would be the 8th of September.
Sure. Since this is a public hearing, are there any questions, comments, or concerns from anybody in attendance? Questions or comments from the board? Entertain a motion to continue this public hearing until, what do you want to do, Tony? 28th?
You could do either the 25th of August, which is going to be, I think, a busy agenda, or you could do the 8th of September.
Not meeting on the 11th?
No, it's scheduled.
We had 21.
You can meet on the 11th if you want.
Motion's on the floor by Mr. Ellis to continue until which date? Well, we can do the 25th, but it's probably going to be better for 9. Motion's on the floor by Mr. Ellis to continue to 9/8. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Cohen. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 401. Tony, we'll continue that public hearing until 7. Moving along, 729 Meadowbrook Subdivision, County Road. The developer, Ellis Building and Development Corporation, is applying for a modification of the definitive residential subdivision plan. The applicant is seeking waiver from section 7.11 of the Hanson subdivision control law regarding street lights. The applicant is proposing alternative street lighting which conforms to the policies of the select board. And for the record, we have a member, Mr. Don Ellis, that has no affiliations. I want to make sure record, no affiliations with the applicant. Have a very good same last name. Very welcome. Representative from Ellis Building. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
While I have you, just going back to that stormwater management issue that you were just discussing, Braintree adopted that 5,000 square foot disturbance area. It's a $250 mitigation fee that goes into the general fund to do what the maintenance.
Nice.
So and they went up in their permit fees to help with that mitigation because they do have a stormwater management person that goes out to do inspections and, review of existing systems.
Perfect.
So,
Well, thank you for that.
Just the thought.
Yeah.
So as per our last discussion, we brought in the plan for the street lighting. Basically what we proposed is to have the customers, individual customers, bring up the cost for the electricity to run them on a strobe with that particular profile, which was about as close as we could get to the proposed one that was on the plan, the head that was on the plan. So they're all, in a line. And I think Mr. Ellis had made mention about several location changes that he wanted to see, which I believe Jeff Hassett had on the plan.
Yeah, we saw them. Yep. I think this is a significant and great improvement. Thank you for bringing it to us.
Yeah.
Obviously the municipality strapped as far as additional lighting from the power company and power grid, and I don't think they really have much of a flavor to add more. And I think we're in a little bit of a quagmire. And I wasn't sure if there was an opportunity, if you had calls that you could make to assist us, whether adding a light at the intersection at County Road or bringing a light.
I think we discussed that.
We did,
At the last meeting.
Yeah, I don't know if the town just hasn't gotten any response.
Oh, okay, because I said I could certainly make that call.
That would
I was
be great.
actually working with them because they're over there hopefully setting the pole that we've been waiting for forever. But that discussion can happen.
That would be great.
I can make that phone.
Oh, that would be great.
I actually will incur the cost of doing that light to get it done if National Grid is not on board. So,
You have a question?
Yeah,
Mr. Ellis.
I think that there's a pole right now across from the entrance.
yes, correct.
All you have to do is mount it.
Just mounted, we were gonna move the one that was down 3 poles, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's the best application because that light is serving zero purpose.
Exactly, it's out in the middle of the boondocks, I mean, the raccoons see it.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, that's about it.
Nobody's singing by it,
Yeah.
Great. Any questions or comments from the board? Tom, do you have any questions or comments?
No, so I prepared a certificate of action for this, and the motion would be to approve the modification with the conditions listed in the certificate of action. We can either go through each of them, but I did send a copy to Mr. Hassett and
Yes,
to Mr. Ellis.
saw that, yes.
If you're satisfied with
I'm
what's,
satisfied with it, that was fine. yes.
if you're satisfied, if the board is satisfied with conditions listed, then you can approve it.
I think it was some location issues that we were discussing that was on the
The
corner of
intersections, that's right.
Princeton and Harvard that Mr. Ellis had brought up about wanting to see that, which would put it like on the detention basin, right kind of adjacent to the detention basin, which is close to, I actually did bring the plan for that lot 1, which is, I don't know if you have that when you're not, but
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, it's right on the corner of the intersection. You can't see it here, but basically there's the basin there, and this is where we were discussing the location of that. So it was right at the intersection.
Perfect.
So,
The whole idea of it is the fact that somebody coming down the cul-de-sac can see that the road ends.
sure.
If
Yeah.
you don't have a light there, they can keep right on going.
Yeah, probably right. Well, let's hope that doesn't.
Entertain a motion for approval of the request for modification for the definitive residential subdivision plan from Redbrook subdivision, Ellis Building and Development Corporation, as stated by the town. So moved. Motion's been made by Mr. Coe. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Ellis. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Four to vote, 1-2.
And one other vote, Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
is a vote to grant the waiver of section 7.11 streetlight.
In addition, Chair entertains a motion for approval of the waiver for section 7.11 as stated. Motion is made by Mr. Ellis.
second.
Seconded by Mr. Robertson. Any, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
4-0. Opposed? Abstention 4-0-1, Tony. On the ninth.
Yeah, so what happens is, one of the conditions is they're gonna give us a plan.
Yep.
There's 21 days, and at the end of that, we'll sign it. I'll have the board sign it. So on August 25th, I'll have the board sign it. I spoke with Jeff, just get us that plan that the board can sign. That gets recorded as part of this,
Sure, yeah.
and you'll be go.
How's your progression?
Well, we had, where the septors were going, I don't know if Tony told you, but we hit ledge over there. And we couldn't blast because it was on the lot line. So we had to hammer it, and it took some long, they're 18-foot deep holes that are going down through the ledge. And of course, the ledge was 6 inches below subgrade, so it was a little bit of a project. But we're actually good with all the silt bags, I don't know if you went by there, we'll get all the silt bags and basins.
Yeah.
Base coat's down, we've got some touch up to do on that before final coat. Curbing's coming in, we're redoing the whole basin, just because over the winter time, it weeded up on us.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of sediment in there, so we're taking that out, actually tomorrow, and we're rebuilding it, and I'm trying to get a water meter from, who do I call about a water meter, water bar? Couldn't reach anybody over the highway on it.
Call the water department.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a separate entity, Jerry Davis. I can send you the
Which,
contact.
yeah, that would be great. I just need to get a water bar so that when we hydro seed, we don't have the same problem. We can get some water right on it, Water usually hasn't been a problem for us over there, as you're well aware of. But, trying to get it, to regerminate.
Great.
So we should be in pretty good
Well,
shape.
pass on to the crew, thanks for adhering to a clean site,
Thanks.
respectful of the town's, ordinances as far as snow zone. Yeah, you certainly drive by and.
Love to get rid of the barrels.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chair.
Top way.
The applicant provided the compaction testing. They had some issues. They went back, they retested, and all the compaction testing passed.
Awesome.
They did all that prior to putting down the base.
Yeah, we had the vibratory roller was actually bringing water up from the bottom, just due to the fact that we had created a dam
Okay.
with the grades. So the water, we had to get rid of the water.
Sure.
And of course, then we were able to get our compactions. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time, sir. Moving on, at 7:37, the Smart Growth District, 40R and 40Y, representatives from Verdantis will discuss revisions, updates, and next steps of potential district and overlay creation. Town planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the smart growth district information that was presented by Verdantis, that entire process was done through a grant. That grant sunsetted on June 30th of 2025. So they've contractually completed their work. So what they've done at this point is they've given the town of Hanson the tools to to move forward if they wish to at some point in time with a 40R and or 40Y. So they've given us the bylaws, they've given us potential districts. Now, what could happen is if the town moves forward, we can either, because you're going to get a state approval, there might be some additional grant monies available to help to get, let's say, the same consultant or someone to assist us sort of through the process along with town council to craft a final version that the board may wish to put forward and move as, to a town meeting. Not obviously October. I think it's too short of a time, but probably May, if you choose to move forward with the 40R district. So they've done their work. They've given us the tools. So at this point, I would ask that the board consider a motion that to accept the results of the consultant's report for 40R and 40Y language with edits for future consideration as a standalone zone or overlay upon completion of the zoning amendment process under MGL 40A Section 5 and approval of town meeting.
Make a motion to bring it to town meeting.
Yeah, so a motion that's, you'll accept the report as presented with edits and for, future consideration to move town meeting. Something along.
Motion on the floor from Mr. Robinson, stated on the top. Is there a second? Mr. Ellis. Any discussion in regards to that motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 401, Tony. Additionally, Chair would accept a motion to move 40R and 40Y. We're basically directing Tony.
Okay.
Is it you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, motion's on the floor by Mr. Robinson for that, for the movement of 40R and 40Y from town planner's office. Second by Mr. Ellis. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions, 401. With that being said, I'd also entertain a motion to close the public hearing, unless there's any public comments before we close. Entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Just made by Mr. Ellis. Motion made by Mr. Ellis and seconded by Mr. Robinson to close the public hearing. Any discussions in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions. 401, Tony. The public hearing for the Smart Growth District 40R and 40Y is hereby closed. Moving on our agenda, we have 42, High Street Park, working title by High Street Park Committee for land located on High Street, map 49, lot 1 and lot 1A-1. Public hearing is being requested to be continued until August 25th, 2025. Design engineer is in the process of revising the project plans to address peer review and public comment. Motion has been made by Mr. Ellis to continue the public hearing to August 25th. Second by Mr. Cohen. This is a public hearing. I'd like to have any comments from the public. There's no comments from the public. Town planner.
I've reached out to the engineer, and I don't want to put their name on record, but to say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. And I'm getting to the point with them. My frustration is now going to go to the owner of the company.
Yeah.
And then after that, if I'm not hearing anything, I'm going to turn out the law dogs to go after these guys because they're just ridiculous. I would never recommend this company to do any work for the town of Hanson ever again, because this is just bad engineering.
I think collectively,
and bad business.
I think collectively the board shares your opinion, and I think that if the public knew, or if the public was knowledgeable or paid attention to how we can kind of kick in the can down the road with the same company, I think that they would be.
Yeah, very disappointed. This should not be taking this long. It's just, Hanson. When the way the town municipality does business is not like a private sector business. The town of Hanson doesn't pay retainers. The town of Hanson, like any municipality, pays at the end, but pays. And we are a paying client.
That's right.
So just like any other paying client, the expectation is you get the work done. Yep. And coming from that field, I cannot imagine doing business this way and just delaying this as long as that. I've sent 2 emails and I've heard crick, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to.
That's his opinion.
Well, we have a motion on the floor in regards to the continuation. It's still a public hearing. Before we make that motion, Mr. Ellis, you have a comment?
I accept what Tony was saying about the whole situation. This has been ongoing, not just with with Tony, it's been done before us. We've been working on this probably project for at least 5 years
At least.
or more.
I can understand the beginning of it, I can understand COVID and all that, and it really messed up a lot of things. But after 2022, I think that there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to continue to August 25th. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions, 401, Tony. I'd additionally ask the board to support me in hiring to continue one more effort with the company itself, and that effort fails, that we back the town plan. Any steps going forward with any kind of motion's been made. So Chris Robinson, second by Mr. Cohen or Bushman. Any discussion in regards to that? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions. So you get 401 vote from the board, Tony, to proceed however you see fit. Please make one more effort, and then after that, enough. And I hope that company listens to the minutes. There's been many hours that have been spent. The town deserves better, especially for a business that was a town business for.
Yeah, I mean, we have
Appalling.
Yeah, we have work that we're trying to do, and this is just,
The better the.
it's like, look, I came from that field. I know what it's like to have a serious workload and a lot of projects, and you're trying to get to all of them, and it's real busy and all, but still, I had paying clients,
Yeah, that's right.
and I had to answer to them. And even though you have to get it done. And the amount of time that this is taking, it having done it for as long as I did, it doesn't take this long.
And if we were to actually sit down, the amount of hours and the amount of labor time that volunteers, Mr. Ellis being on that subcommittee of this board, as well as other people, the amount of hours that have been put into it, you'll never get that back. We're not able to ask for that back, so it's appalling.
It would have been done by now.
It would have been done.
Yeah.
We're all done with our continuing with our public hearings, all done with our appointment. Move on to our board business. Town planner update. Town planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we have an invoice, it's a warrant to pay. This is for the Registry of Deeds, and this is to record some paperwork. One is the signatures that were for the planning board, and second is for a ORAD from the Conservation Commission on 0 West Washington Street.
Nice. Okay. Any questions or concerns from $212? And
Just $212, Mr. Chair.
oh, that's for both. It's collective.
Yes, so it's 106 for
Okay,
each.
Thank you. Any no questions or comments? I'm going to. I don't think we need to. I can just appreciate it. 25. It's 2025.
So the next item is regarding the senior center project. So there was a little bit of a delay due to the weather. We received an email from the company that's we purchased the modular from. So the modular building itself is being built in Indiana, and the factory, I guess, closed down for 4 days due to the heat.
Wow.
So that threw us off a couple of days because it was expected to arrive, be picked up on July 8th, and would have been set up last week.
What
I
are they
did-
setting that on? Is that going to be set onto a?
Basically, it's on pilings. So there was sonotubes set in the ground, and then they will set on what they call a dry stack. And so the two pieces will come as halves. They steer the buildings together. The water service is in. The electric is all set to go. Once the building is all set and squared away, then they'll tie into the septic system. So yeah,
That's going to be.
Yep. The design for that library and senior center is actually twice what was required. And we had a Title V inspection done, and it's working very well.
What's the intent on the library to use the space for? Do they have a plan?
The senior center is
I'm
used.
sorry, the senior center to use the space.
So the senior center is going to use that space for elderly care, sort of like I hate to use the term a daycare, but it's for elderly folks that may need someone a place to be while their caretakers go to work or run errands or something like
Nice.
that. So there'll be a space, there'll be an office, there'll be a bathroom. And so the program, Mary Collins did a fantastic job. She's the one who went out. She she got the grant for the whole thing.
That's great.
And they're hoping to get squared away and get things going in September.
Right?
We'll have a handicap ramp and
Yep.
all that stuff. Okay.
Yep. So if you're familiar with the site,
Okay.
there's a patio outside the senior center. So the building will be just off the patio, probably about
Okay.
2 feet, and it'll be sitting about 7 inches higher than the patio, and there'll be a ramp. And then they're going to grade, there'll be skirting and everything like that.
Okay.
So the expectation, the building is complete. It's going to get picked up on Wednesday, and then over the weekend, they'll be bringing it on site to put it together. And then finish it up. So that'll be great. The Hanson trail maps were all complete, all printed out. There's 11 of them. They can be obtained at the Hanson Town Hall up on the second floor. They can reach out to the Planning Board or the Conservation Commission, where they also find them at the Senior Center, Camp Kawani, and the library. We're going to also create a link on our webpage to the maps, and then eventually the town is determining what web platform they're going to use. And once we do, we're actually going to create a dedicated page to the trail maps.
Oh, perfect.
That will probably be monitored by the Conservation Commission, so they can provide updates and so forth. And we're also going to use these maps to promote basically tourism to Hanson for the trails. So Jay has done some research for me, and we're looking at some state websites and so forth to get these out there and try and hopefully spur some economic development in the town.
Great work. Ms. Ellis?
Tell me, are they ADA compliant?
The trails?
Yeah.
You'd have to ask Mr. Mansfield that. I can't tell you off the top of my head if they are, because he's more familiar with each individual trail than I am.
According to the jump on the lawns and stuff, it's just the running,
Certain width too, right?
the width and the elevations and stuff.
Yeah, he could give you a better idea than I could. He's very familiar with each trail.
Probably working on it. They're probably working on
Towns like
it. Because
that.
Rocky Run is, that's a tough one. I think that's really
Yeah.
working. Yeah. It's a pretty rough one.
And so the last thing I have is ZBA approvals. There was an approval by the Zoning Board of Appeals for 176 High Street, which was for an ADU, an attached ADU. So as you know, ADUs are allowed as of right, but they did a site plan review. And so based upon their review and some edits to the plan, they granted the applicant an approval.
So I think it's on our fifth ADU now?
At least, yeah. There's been quite an interest in the ADUs. General knowledge for the board, I will be on vacation next week. Jay will be in the office, normal business hours. So I will be on vacation, but I will be checking emails. So if you need me, if you have any questions. But if you don't need me, that's okay too.
Cheers, any questions, comments for the good of the order from the board? Any go to the order, comments, questions, anything, new business, anything you want to put on to
Can we
the...
get his phone number in case we want to talk?
You can try. You can try.
I lose my phone. It's on silent. I don't know if you want to, I know at the last meeting you set the August 25th meeting. I don't know if you want
Yeah, we could...
to do it again for the order.
So it was all tentative. So we have the last item of business before adjournment is our next planning board date. We've got it for Monday, August 25th. Solidify that.
Next meeting?
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Cohen for August 25th.
I'll second it.
Proper selected by Mr. Robertson. Any discussion in regards to that motion? Seeing none, we are, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 401, Tony, we have a tentative, we have a solidified date of 8/25. Somebody, 8/25 for
Do you want to solidify September 8th as well?
August 8th?
August 25th. I'll say September 8th. I need would be the next one, but we can do that. Great. All right, I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's enjoying the summer. Please enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
I'm going to be away in August as well, the 13th And how's things going on with our new administrative assistant?
She's doing a great job. This is,
I've got the knife back here.
Wink, wink.
she's come back for week 2, which is a
Come
plus.
back. Yeah.
She's come back, which is a good thing.
Sure.
So she's learning the ropes, and she's doing a great job.
Well, Jay, the talk around the town hall as well, others have commented, said that you're doing a great job, and pass it on, let you know that a few days of every doing really.
Appreciate it.
Getting a good reputation
I don't
around.
think I've done all that much yet, but I appreciate it all the same.
Just visiting. Yeah. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion's been made by Mr. Ellis. Second by Mr. Robinson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? It is 7:56, we're adjourned.